Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Hope you're doing good. Today we got another how-to repair video for you. I'm not really what you say going to diagnose it in this video. I'm just going to show you how to replace it. So, 05 Cavalier, 318,000 miles, 2.2 Ecotech, 4-banger. And, well, the problem is we have two codes, and that is P0300 and P0301. P0301 is cylinder 1 misfire. P0300 is multiple cylinder misfire. Just random started, and car was shaking at idle. It wasn't running smooth. As soon as you went to touch the gas pedal of like this, it would do this like stumble and then catch itself as trying to rev up. And going down the road, like when you're coming from a stop sign or a red light, however have you, when you went to go to take off and you very first press on the gas to move the car, it would kind of like nosedive on its face, like it's going to stall out and cut out, and then all of a sudden it catches itself and goes. Now once you got past that part and you were to, like, say for instance, give it the beans to the floor, all it would take off and go. Like, it had no problem there. It was just the first initial takeoff, or at idle it was misfiring, and then like I said, when you very first touch the gas, press it to go, it would cut up. That's pretty much all the issues I had. And then the misfire codes. Now a year ago when I got this car, the codes came. I replaced the plugs that are in it. The plugs that were in it were horrible. I put a junkyard used fuel injector in it for cylinder 1, changed the fuel filter, and put some fuel treatment in it. Seemed to be good. And then here we are a year later, and all of a sudden now it's back, and I don't know what's going on, but it's throwing the same code. And I know, and I've worked on them, these are very, very, very common to failure. The ignition control module itself. Now, tried messing with it, checking some things. Fuel pressure is great. I know some people are going to comment, why did you go to the junkyard and get a used fuel injector? Well, because the car that came in was wrecked, and it looked like it had just been on the road. So, and the injectors were way better in shape, condition-wise, versus the ones that came out of this. So, and it had been fine up till now. And then, the next day after all this happened, all that went away. The code is still there, and I'll show you that real quick, but the problems I had with the engine and shaking and misfiring and cutting up, all that's disappeared. Kind of odd, but I know these are very common for this to go out, and the little boots, which I have here, broke or came apart when I did the plugs in it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a brand new coil pack in it, because I don't know the condition of this car really, of what has been done. I know this was replaced at one time, but that is so very common on these. It's probably just going out again because of the plugs that were in it beforehand. And so coil pack, ignition control module, and threw a can of B12 fuel injector cleaner. This stuff works pretty good. Either that or Seafoam, one of the two, but this was cheaper now. Apparently Seafoam has went up, and this works just as good. So I threw this in the gas tank, and here's the boots for the coil pack, I'll call it. There's the part number for that one, Duralast brand. Then you have a crank sensor, because the car has a problem whenever it hot starts sometimes. SU1072 is the part number for that one, lifetime warranty. And then I've got an oil pressure switch, which is PS449. I just love how my camera never wants to focus anymore on things that I'm trying to show it. But anyway, so I also got intake manifold gaskets, because I kind of was debating that it was either spark or maybe a vacuum leak, because after I had sprayed the intake, literally right after I sprayed the intake, and the engine never changed, I never showed signs of it sucking the brake cleaner in to tell if it had a leak. But the check engine light came on again and it threw the PO300, which was multiple cylinder misfire, and I had sprayed the whole intake with brake cleaner. So I kind of got a feeling that, well, there's an issue there with the lower intake manifold. But in today's video, I know I'm ramming a lot, so I'm going to get to this. Enough talking and more wrenching. So we're going to replace the coil pack and the module with the boots and see how it does from there. Alright, so first things first, you're going to need a 10mm and a T, I believe, yeah, 15 is the size. T15 Torx head bit. There's 1, 2, 3 of them. 3 screws that are Torx head bit to take the module out, but I'm going to take the whole coil pack out and then take the module out from it. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then got these cables. Move these cables out of the way. Kind of bend this bracket up a bit. Take this connector, pull it backwards, push down in the middle, and it slides right out. And there's no problems here with the pins. I don't see a problem there. It connects really well. It clicks in. So I don't really think there's a connection problem or a connector issue. So take the rest of those out and get that out. Alright, so next thing you want to do, right here, there's like a little lip. Pry up on that a little bit. Kind of do it both sides, this side and that side. Well, at the moment, I don't see any cracking, but I laid that to the side. The rest of the boots of these are in the valve cover. Got to get those out. Get a pair of pliers or needle nose, something. Or actually, you can get your hands in there and grab them. Kind of twist. There we go, there's one. Two. I'll have to get pliers for that one. Every one of them came out. I'm not going to hurt it with pliers, but you want to make sure that the spring did not pop out of there. If it didn't, you're good. The condition of these actually do not look bad at all, but since I've got it apart, I'm going to go ahead and put the new boots in there. I've already spent the money. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. I am going to pull the plugs just to look at them, see what the condition is, see how it's running. That'll tell me some things before I put the coil pack and module back in. Plug number 1. Of course, it don't want to focus. Looks alright. No signs of heat or burning anything. It's normal wear. Plug number 2. Same thing. Looks alright. 3. Looks a little different, but not that much. And 4. All the same way. And I used AC Delco plugs. especially with being GM. That's what I use in everything I own. So it gets AC Delco or something else. Never anything like NGK or Autolite. Autolite's junk. Alright, so real quick, I'm going to do a compression test on all 4 cylinders. I want to know the mechanical part of the engine, make sure that the piston rings and everything else has got good compression so I can move on to finishing up this job. But just a peace of mind, this thing has 318,000 miles, so I just want to make absolutely sure that there's nothing wrong with it. Which I don't believe there is, but I want to know. So it's hooked up to cylinder 1. We're going to do all 4. All the plugs are out. You want to leave them out so that way if there is, for instance, something wrong with the head gasket, it'll actually give a good reading without all the plugs in it. And I've already went ahead and disabled the fuel pump relay over here in the fuse box, which is located, not this one, but the next one, next smallest one. So let's go ahead and give a compression test and see what we got. It shot up some dust. A little lower than what I wanted, but it's got compression. That's about 100 psi. So, and it's not bleeding down, so that's good. Alright, let's move on to cylinder 2. Alright, cylinder 2. Not looking too good. This is more than 10% over. This is almost like 30 to 40, maybe 50 over. This is about 135? Something like that. Hard to really tell. Yeah, it looks like about 135. And the other one was slight lower than that. Kind of see it. I know, poor lighting, I'm sorry. Now you can see it. So, alright, next, cylinder 3. Holy moly. This one, cylinder 3's got way more. Almost 150, that's 145. Kind of get I can't get good lighting here to focus on it. It's on the last mark before 150, so that's 145. Now from 135 to 145, that's not bad, that's 10%. You know, that I can understand, but from cylinder 1 to cylinder 2, that's a little questionable. I'm starting to really question cylinder 1's health, because that's really not good. It's under 120, and it should be a little bit more than that. It should be like cylinder 3. But like I said, with the mileage, yeah, here it's what to expect. And drum roll number 4, 120 psi. It's kind of hard to see, but well, I didn't think I could do that, but alright. Take it off like this. 120. There's a better view. So cylinder 3 seems to be the best cylinder out of all of them. Just in case you were wondering about the test kit that I used, it's from Harbor Freight. I forget how much it was. I think it was like 20-30 bucks. I've had this thing for like 6 years now, but came well and handy. There's the part number for it, 69885. I will leave that in the description for you. Let's get this module swapped out. Don't lose the screws. They don't come with a new one. once you get this part halfway out, take a flathead, see the little gap right here where it's plugged in, just kind of proud outward. Just be careful, it's plastic, like so. Pops right out. Now there is a adapter with this that a lot of people don't know about, and it's not in this side, it's actually in this side. There's a little adapter piece in here. I'll show you on the new one what I'm talking about. That a lot of people forget, if you don't install the adapter that comes with this, or if the other one doesn't have it, whatever, you got to have that because it won't make connection and your car won't run. Well, I believe I found out what is wrong with the old coil system. You see in there how it's all wet? That's not good, because I removed the adapter, needle nose pliers. But look at the other side. Look at all that green corrosion. There's the problem of the intermittent misfire codes and problems with the engine itself. That crap right there is what's going to do it. Somehow water got in there. When I cleaned the engine bay of this car, in the other video that y'all see on the channel of using Super Clean, I did not touch the valve cover area. It was only the underneath and transmission side. I didn't touch the top of the valve cover, and if anything, the module covers this whole entire thing, so even if I did, I don't know how water got in there. Somehow moisture's gotten in there, and well, that'll do it every time. So I believe I was going to use the old module, the old coil pack, but I believe I'm just going to go ahead and put a new coil pack on it. And I'm glad it comes with a new adapter spacer, because this one's corroded. You can clean it, but I just don't trust it. See this one? Pins are like brand new. Pins are like brand new. This side's all clean, like it's supposed to be. Look at the difference. Look how corroded. And it's probably all the way through this whole device. So, yeah. She's done. So get the new module out. Throw this, I keep calling it a module. Get the new coil pack out, put this module in it, and then button this back up. Also, something else I want to point out. There's moisture in this side too. And it's starting to turn color on the little metal prongs. So, that's the problem. I got two things going at once. Problem is probably the coil pack is fine, but the connection's all messed up. But since I already have the brand new part, I'm going to do module and coil pack. Here's what I'm going to use to seal it so no moisture or anything else sets up inside of it anymore. I don't want to go through this issue again. Just like that. It's a little too much, but it'll be alright. Squish that down. And then just a bit on this. You don't need much. Just enough to do that right there. You don't want to overdo it. Now it's in there, it's lubricated, keep moisture out. Pop this back into the new one. There it goes. Be very careful when you're doing this. You don't want to overdo it and then break off one of the connectors or pins. You destroy that pin, that'll be it. So it's locked in. put the screws back in it. Now, I did this a year ago when I put plugs in it, but I'm going to do it to these because these are brand new boots for this coil pack. Dielectric grease. Pick it up at any parts store. Get a whole tube of it. It's worth the money. Especially if you do car stuff like I do, or you're a mechanic like I am. Or you can get a little packet of this. But my best bet is to go after one of these. So you want to take just a little bit of it. Just enough, just like that, and each individual one, and then pop it onto the coil pack. Just like so. And then you want to take a little bit and put it on the other end, because this end's going to connect to the spark plug. I'm actually going to take some of that stuff and put it on the connector that plugs into the module part from the engine side harness. Pop it in, kind of wiggle it around as you're slowly, slightly pushing down on it. Went ahead and painted the bolts off camera. They look a lot better, they're black, so that way they don't stand out. They were a little rusty, crusty. Okay. Alright, that's tightened back down. You want to get it just snug. You don't want to overdo it. It's plastic, you'll break it. Take the connector after it's got the stuff on it. Clicks in. Push that in. Good to go. Alright, using the new scan tool the company sent me to try out. Top done. There's the number for this one. And check the codes. Clear them out. One code, and it also tells you how many that are not fully done through a drive cycle if the computer's ever been reset within the 50 miles. PO300 is the only code I have now. Multiple cylinder misfire. The PO301 that I had is gone. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and erase this, clear the whole thing out. Done. And we're going to look at live data. We'll fire it up for a cold start. See what she does, see how she sounds. Yeah, a lot more responsive now. See the coolant temperature. It's in closed loop right now until it gets up to temperature, fan comes on, all that type of thing. I can tell the mileage, how fast I'm going through this. Pretty much tells me everything. Long term, short term fuel trims. ignition timing, oxygen sensor readings, throttle position sensor readings. See, it changes as I give it gas. Air temperature, intake readings, and how many miles I've traveled since I've had it hooked up. Pretty dang neat, if you ask me. So, looks pretty good. Check engine light's not back on even yet, so I believe we're fixed. Now I have to drive it at least 50 miles, 50 to 100, for it to run through its whole entire drive cycle to check all the monitors and everything. Once that happens, and I can check that through this, once that happens, well, she should be good to go. I don't think there's going to be any more problems with misfires after finding what I did. Something else I love about the scan tool right here, it actually will tell you what hasn't been done through the drive cycle. Catalytic converter, O2 sensor, evap. I think that's it for this one. There's not much that it really checks through. Yeah, just the ones with the X's are the ones that's got to be checked through the drive cycle. The rest of them have already been done. I can also check battery, alternator, starter, tester with this. It has different connections that I can plug up to the scanner itself, to right here. So it does quite pretty different cool stuff, features with this. Not bad. So if the company Top Done is watching the channel right now, highly appreciate you sending me this out to try it out. Not too bad of a scanner. It does a little bit more than my other one from Harbor Freight. One thing I do question that I wished it had was bi-directional features, so I can actually turn on and turn off monitors and sensors and do tests that way, so I can see a lot more things. I think it's fixed. That's running really smooth. Soon need to replace 2 engine mounts, but for the most part, look how easy it is to step on the gas now. So I call that a win and a fix. Alright, so the parts I used in this video real quick. 9007 was the little boots. DR105 is the module. And the coil pack, there's the part number for that. I'll try my best to leave this in the description so you can check that out for yourself. But that's it. As far as intake gaskets and the crank sensor and oil pressure switch, that'll be another time, another video later. So if this helps you out in some kind of way, I hope it does. Smash that subscribe button, like it, share, and I will catch you guys later. Comment below, let me know what you think. Catch you guys later in the next one. Thanks.